This video is on a Pureflow cabin air filter. This is a premium guard, charcoal, baking soda, micro, antibacterial cabin filter. Model number is PC4099X. We'll be doing an unboxing, see what it looks like, and we're going to stick it in a 2019 Nissan 370Z. Not sure what the difference between this and the regular one is. I'm sure the regular one's just a paper cabin filter. This one's microfiber, supposed to pick up some extra allergens and dirt and grime. Just got past pollen season here in the Carolinas, so I'm sure the air filter in here is gummed up. Installation instructions: remove the old one, put in the new one. Worthless. Quality looks to be pretty good. It's not really thick. Sometimes if you get like a HEPA filter or something like that, they're really thick and they make it harder on your air unit to actually push the air through them. This one looks pretty good. Let's pop it in, see how hard it is. Now the cabin filter on a 370Z is behind the glove box. There is one screw that's kind of hard to get to, and I'll show you where it's at. Now the screw I'm talking about is way back in there, so you need a really long screwdriver or a really skinny hand one to get to it. I'm going to take this screw out first. This is also the first screw you want to put in, because if it does drop down in there, you can get it back out. Now as I'm turning this, I'm putting a little pressure forward on it to keep it from dropping down in there. I'm going to try to stick it to the end of my screwdriver, which I did. Like so. Next screw is at the bottom left. Use the same long screwdriver. Take this one out. And again, these aren't as bad. If you do drop these, they usually fall right out on the carpet. Sorry about that camera angle there. We'll do the same thing. I'm just going to kind of put a little pressure on it, try to stick it to the end of my driver. Two. Then we've got one on the right hand side. Angled also. Doesn't help with my accuracy, but you can at least see what's going on with it. Sorry for the shaky camera. Holding the camera with one hand, taking the screw out with the other. Three. And I'm just gonna try to get that out of there. And the last four are right in the front of the glove box. The last form on power tool. One, two, try not to strip them out like I just about did. Three, again, this is a lot easier if you're not holding the camera at the same time. And four. So that's 7 screws total. 7 screws. So the next thing we want to do is we want to remove this entire panel. I usually grab on this bottom right hand side, pull it towards you, give it a little tug and it'll pop loose. Same thing on the left side. Once you get that side out, don't pull really hard on your door. Reach underneath here by the cigarette lighter and pull. This compartment just falls down. Make sure you don't tear your wires or pull your wires out when you drop that down. Next thing is getting the air filter out. Push this little tab. Little tab pulls out, and then you slide it to the right. That comes out, and there's your made in China air filter. And that's my factory filter. That should be white and not full of bugs. I originally had this changed at the dealership. As you can see on the bottom, there's little tabs here. So it should slide over top of it like that and hold it up in place and not crush it. So our new air filter actually says airflow on it, so make sure you put it in the correct way. So I'm going to slide it in, and unlike them, I'm going to push it all the way to the back, and it should lift up like that. What they did is they left it down and they just crushed it with the tab. So we're going to lift up a little bit when we put that in and make sure those tabs slide underneath the air filter so it holds it in place. So I'm going to lift up on it slightly, make sure my tabs go underneath the air filter. Both sides, and I'm going to push it in and close the flap. So now it's installed properly and I can see through here. It's hard to see on the camera, but I can actually see the air filter is at the top and in place and not crushed by the mechanism. Okay, back together. There are 3 little tabs on this side and there are 4 tabs on the right hand side. Make sure you take these tabs and line them up with the holes. So we're just going to kind of lift it up in place. I'm going to eyeball my tabs. Make sure everything's lined up before I push it in. Once I get it lined up, little bump, not hard. If it doesn't pop right in like that, you've got something wrong. Pull it back down, check it, and try it again. Should not be hard. And then the last thing we want to do is put our screws back in. And again, I'm going to start with that one that's way in the back, because if I drop it, I can take this back apart and get it back out of there. Most of the time it falls all the way through. I've had them stick halfway down. So basically I just stuck that on the end of my driver, put it up there and run it in. Same with my bottom 2. I want to do my left and my right side next. Not that they do get stuck, but if they did fall in and get stuck, they're the hardest ones to get back out. Same thing, into the screwdriver, line it up, and then tighten them up. The last thing I'm going to do is put in my top 4. Now on all these, you're just tightening into plastic. If you over tighten these, you'll just ream them out. So when you run these in, as soon as they stop. Don't keep on tightening them up or you'll do some damage to something. Make sure your holes are lined up too. Again, I apologize. This is a lot easier than it looks. I'm trying to stay out of the camera so you can see what's going on. 3. And 4. That's all there is to it. So that was on the Pureflow PC4099X Premium Guard Charcoal Air Filter. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please click like and subscribe.